What's going on, everyone? WX Ninja here. Welcome to the channel. I just want to introduce myself and show you guys a video here. I'm a weather nerd. I'm sure like most of you out there, I've always enjoyed the weather, whether it be snow or, thunderstorms, hurricanes, earthquakes. I guess earthquakes are kind of not weather related, but kind of are. Northern lights, all that different stuff. So my love for weather probably happened, when I was a kid. I just loved the weather. Probably because of the snow. Always wanted it to snow. It didn't snow a lot where I grew up. And I knew that if it snowed, probably weren't going to have school because where I lived, you could get a couple inches of snow and it would pretty much shut down the city. So that's just where love of weather started for me. So I thought I would come on here and just kind of talk about the weather for today. Look at some radar, look at some weather maps, and, just kind of show my nerdiness with all you guys. And feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what kind of weather you like or if you just enjoy all the weather. So you can see right now, anyways, in the Midwest, nice little snow going on here. Got some thunderstorms out here approaching the East Coast. You can see it pretty well on the radar. Come on, radar. Let's go. So, yeah, you can see some snow here in through Kansas and then some thunderstorms, like I said, headed out to the east. Now, it's been pretty quiet in the West as far as like snow goes. California, Sierras have got some snow and whatnot, but Oregon, Washington, Idaho, they've gotten some in Montana, but it's just been pretty quiet. I live in Idaho, and this is one of the warmest and driest winters that I've seen. I should say driest in terms of snow. We have gotten mostly rainstorms. And when it snows, it'll be like a dusting or an inch or two. I think the most snow we've gotten so far is a couple inches. I know we're only, 19 days into actual meteorological winter, but by now, here usually it starts snowing sometime into October, early November. We didn't see that this year. So it is cold right now. There's a dusting of snow on the ground. It's probably going to melt away because, as many of you probably saw, and if not, you will see here when we look at the weather model, it's just going to be dry out west. So let's take a look. Now, this is Tropical Tidbits. I just go to forecast models. Take a look at the GFS. It's the 12Z, so that's a halfway decent run. And I just like to kind of see what's going on. I have no degree in meteorological, no degree in meteorology, but I've just always followed the weather and love it. So I'm not going to give you an exact forecast because I'm not that smart, but I am going to just kind of go through things and we'll take a look together. So you see that snow out in the Midwest. It just kind of moves along like we'd expect. A little bit up here in the Great Lakes. And then you got another system approaching. Pacific Northwest. Maybe some mountain snow as this low pressure ejects off the East Coast. Looks like the Great Lakes. Get some snow. Now, I've never been to the upper Great Lakes. Well, I've been close up in Wisconsin, but I always wanted to go to like Syracuse or somewhere and just experience lake effect snow. I think that'd be pretty cool. But you can see the high pressure. This is kind of what's been going on here in the West, like I was talking about earlier. You just get this high pressure, and so all the moisture is just going up and then shooting down, over here in Minnesota area, Great Lakes. And they've been, from what I've seen, doing pretty good with the snow. Good for them, but not so good over here. And again, it looks like it's just going to dry out. You see all this moisture kind of just not really going anywhere, kind of heading up north. See another low coming down out of Canada over the Great Lakes region. Not much going on in the south. Really, this has been the action spot. And again, there it goes, another low going through. Looks like we'll get a little bit of rain and snow there. And again, look at the west, just dry. So this looks like it's going to dig down. This low is going to make the flow dig down there way, way south. That's pretty interesting to see. And again, if you don't know anything about weather or weather models in particular, it's really hard for something to be accurate, let's say outside of depending on where you live, probably 4 or 5 days. I find that when you start getting into, 5 days or more, you may get an idea kind of about the general pattern, but specifics, it's just too far out to tell. So, like for instance, where I live, it was showing a massive blizzard on Christmas Day. And it showed that for like 2 or 3 runs, but it was always out in that 10-day period, 11-day period. And then it just, when time came Christmas Day, no, it was nothing. It was just clear and kind of warm. I think it was in the, almost got 50 on Christmas here, which is not what you expect. Anyhow, back to this map, you can see here comes another system. Again, everything is just riding over and coming down into the Great Lakes. Clip in Minnesota, that area over in there. But that's a pretty big low going off the coast there. Kind of watch it develop and dig. It's going to turn into a nor'easter. So you could get a nor'easter there on the East Coast, depending on where this low goes. Again, it's so far out. Who knows if this is actually going to happen, but it would need to be obviously closer to shore there. And then again, just another low over the Great Lakes region. Now we've got a little something here trying to pop up off the coast of Mexico there, but if that did happen, it could tap into some of this moisture, maybe draw it up, maybe get a big snowstorm for the east. Yeah, like that'd be pretty decent snow right there. Again, it's so far out. We just kind of like to look at it just to see. And then that would be a big old nor'easter. Look at that thing, man. So yeah, it pulls in some of this moisture, it looks like. A low develops right there. And it just takes all that tropical moisture. Wow. Yeah, that probably won't happen. That's a pretty strong low. 969 millibars. Wow. That'd be just insane blizzard up there in Maine. Could happen, but not likely. But again, look what's happening. Just another high pressure here. Just sitting over the west. Saying no. Yeah, and there goes that low. So one thing to notice too is with high pressure, depending on where you live and your dynamics, I mean, if you live in a valley and you see high pressure in the wintertime, it could just be super foggy. You could get an inversion, which means it's actually colder down low and warmer up top to a certain degree. Where I'm from, that would happen a lot. I'm not from Idaho, but where I was from, that would happen from time to time, where you would get these high pressures in the wintertime, wouldn't get any wind. You'd just be socked in with fog all day. It's just gloomy and dreary. It's not going to snow. It's about 40 degrees or so. So it's chilly, it's foggy, and it's just like day after day after day. Another thing that can happen more out here in Idaho is it'll just be clear and cold, which I would rather have it be snowy and cold, but clear and cold I'd prefer over, foggy and 40 degrees. I'd rather have 25 and sunny conditions. So there it looks like finally. And when is this? This is valid. So this is Tuesday, January 20th. You can see the date right here. And then, of course, that's Zulu time, so it's a little different than the standard time. But maybe, again, this is 11 days out, so take it with a grain of salt. But maybe we finally get some snow here coming in the Pacific Northwest area. Almost more of a zonal flow. Big low developing there. Looks like it wants to put some ice down, which would be horrible. Ice storms are really, really cool, but they're also super destructive, so that makes them kind of not cool. But again, just kind of looking at things, just seeing. And then one thing I like to do too is, especially if, like I mentioned, the snowstorm in my area, so of course I'm going to focus on Idaho because that's where I live, but you could just kind of watch it and you could see, oh, it was showing that Christmas storm, and then you just kind of see it disappear. But you can kind of pick up on, how far out these models generally are. In the summertime, it's a little better because there's not as many storms coming and going when it comes to like cold and snow. it's a little different than, let's just say, rain. Now, thunderstorms, yeah, of course, people are going to keep an eye on, you know, if something's showing severe thunderstorms 10 days out and then it dissipates. But there's obviously more storms in the winter. Not severe storms, just low pressures coming through. So that's just kind of look at the weather, you know. And again, here's what's going on now. If you're in Kansas and love the snow, you're probably getting some snow. And yeah, it's just going to sweep across the country. We can take a look at it on the actual to see where it's going to go here in the weather map. It's going to kind of dissipate but head up. Looks like a little bit of a low forms, and oh, there's the low. So it's going to go over the Great Lakes region again. Just crazy how that's working this year, but that's just kind of a quick introduction to me, the channel. Like I said, I love weather. Always feel free to talk about weather on here, share some weather pictures. I love that kind of stuff. Maybe, you know, maybe sometime we'll do a just a video with everyone's weather pictures. I can cut that together and we can put something out. So that's all I've got for today. Appreciate everyone joining, and we'll see you next time. Take care.